I'll explain why I'm clicking through all of this again in a little bit as I get done clicking through it. But I planned on not recording today. However, at somewhere around, ironically, 3:30 p.m., I had this idea that made me encouraged me to record again. Hopefully this recording will only be about 10 minutes long. So this is what the thoughts I had basically last time I recorded, and that was, it's hard to believe that Uchikoshi and his fellow game writers would not have written some sort of ending in which you were actually able to achieve your goal. That is, be able to break the infinite loop and actually make it to April 7th. So, there's got to be, I would presume, some sort of true ending or best ending timeline that you can get into that achieves that goal. And in order to find that, well, you would succeed eventually if you did this exhaustive depth or breadth search. It would mostly like a binary search because most of the choices are binary. There are a couple that there are several options. Now, some observations. There's very few choices in the second pass, as the second time you go through the 6 days, in comparison to the first. The second pass is rather inflexible, and there is hardly anything you can do to control the path of the story. Whereas the first pass, there's many more choices, some seemingly unnecessary, and there are several different variations of the story you can go through. This suggests that the ending that you get at the end of the second pass is affected more so actually by your choices in the first pass than the second pass. That was what I thought yesterday. This may not actually be true as how I'm thinking today, but that's what I thought yesterday at least. In other words, so there's sort of two levels of achievement. Your first is actually, like, I would assume there are some, because certain requirements seem to have been met in order for you to retain your memories in the second pass. It seemed as if there are possible choices you could make such you don't even get a second pass. That you just get a game over at the end of the first pass. Again, I don't know for sure because I haven't done that. Right? But you would think that would be the case. And then you have but then when you get to the second pass, you're not really guaranteed that you'll succeed at the end of the second pass, that there would be another level of achievement, another more refined set of choices you would then have to figure out in order to not only get to the second pass, but also get a good ending at the end of that second pass. Now, nowadays I'm thinking that's not true anymore, but that's what I was thinking then. So your goal then would be to achieve that true ending by some sort of search, and you would try to be smart about it because basically, if 2 to the power of how many choices you have, that's going to be more than how many save slots you have. So by quite a large margin, and so you would need to be somewhat intelligent about how you did it. I would try to find choices which I was pretty sure were just the minutia of dialogue and didn't have any effect on the direction of the story, and try to isolate the choices which create major changes in the sequence of events and changes about what information is revealed to the main character. I then basically just iterate those choices. For example, that choice right there would be one that I would be close to 100% sure has no effect on the future, no matter what you made. In addition, you try to target, well, of course, obviously choices that gives the character the most information and the closest to solving the mysteries, but also the choices that tend to show the most art assets, because you would expect that the game developers would put the most effort into writing the main route, and the side routes that lead to bad endings would be an afterthought. This isn't always the case, and oftentimes in the bad endings there'll be information given to you that's not even given to you in the true ending. If anybody's familiar with 999, there's a certain piece of information you get in the poster child of bad endings. that is not actually, it's not super story crucial, but it's not actually given in the true ending. Kind of interesting. But anyway, that's 999. It's a pretty high standard. So you kind of look at the art assets that are in the opening cutscene, one of which that I haven't seen but was in the opening cutscene was Kurumi in a bathing suit. And see if you can actually see all those art assets in your playthrough, and that would give you a big hint as you were actually getting the correct sequence of choices that would get you to the best ending. Now, I noticed at first that there seemed to be some resemblance between this game and Doki Doki Literature Club, and that may just be because they're the same genre, right? There's just stuff that happens in every visual novel. Obviously, the way the screen is laid out similarly, where the choices are, their nature is laid out similarly. You have a character like Yuka who kind of seemed to resemble Monica. You had some character like Haruka that seemed to resemble Yuka. The art styles were similar. You go through the game 2 times, just like Doki Doki Literature Club. You are a literature student, right? Your face is hidden. The player character's face is hidden. So I don't know. It's very there is a resemblance there, which makes you think that maybe Dan Salvato, I forgot if it's Silvato or Salvato, actually took some ideas from this game, and not just the game that's often cited, which is Yumi and her love story. Anyway, but maybe just every visual novel is like that. Which would make you think, what if this game is like Doki Doki Literature Club? You know how Doki Doki you have a bonus ending that you get if you manage to save scum all of the art assets. So you would think, oh, maybe in this game you get this good ending by save scumming the art assets. Hopefully that's not the case. You would use ... here. And I can't help but point out again that, as far as I've seen of this game, a lot of mysteries are presented that are left completely unresolved, such as what Haruka and Saki actually arguing about. Remember, the main character thought, when Haruka said that Saki wouldn't teach her how to fish, that Haruka was making something up. And that's not what they're really arguing about. As well as, why was Haruka worried about Kurumi? What is the story behind Kurumi and the Shikinomori Shrine, and why does she know about it? Why does Kurumi think that Izumi think that Kurumi's not her real sister? And how is that related to the shrine? And why is it that Izumi really does not want Kurumi to go to that shrine? Right. Those are just never resolved. In addition, who smoked the cigarette? And this is the biggest one, what is the true purpose of the seminar camp? So I'm just still full of questions that are not answered. And those questions may be either answered somehow after you get past a barrier here into later in the day in April 6th or April 7th, or there's bonuses for going down bad ending routes. And I don't really know that yet. Another thing that's curious to me is, when I downloaded the original files and I downloaded the English patch for them, the English patch came with didn't really come with, but something you're supposed to download with it, a zip file full of what's called English subbed movies, which implies that there's supposed to be cutscenes in this game. However, aside from the opener, I haven't seen any cutscenes, and there was more than just one cutscene in this file. There was this folder. There was at least 5. So why were there English sub cutscenes, but you don't see any of them in the game? That's also weird. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on here. Okay. Gotta go through this dialogue. Downpour. You're recording for 10 minutes. Okay. Now I want to click Go Help Kurumi. Okay. Keep clicking. So the idea is, if you don't listen to Saki, what Saki has to say, or you do listen to what Saki has to say, but you don't go look for Kurumi, Yuka will go running to the shrine. But if you go run to the shrine, Yuka's like, no, I didn't want you to go. I want you to go myself. I want you to stay here. I don't want you to die. Yuka wants to sacrifice herself for you, right? And so she'll go chasing after you, like, what are you doing? Okay, and they have this dialogue, which happens either way. Can't really escape this dialogue. But Yuka grabs your arm. Don't go to the supermarket. So, basically, last time I got to this choice, and I was like, I don't know which one to do. And I clicked We'll Have Another Chance, because that seemed like the more clever choice. But then I didn't even write down that there was a choice here, even though I wrote down every other choice because I was rushing so hard to get to the end. And that didn't really help me in remembering that this choice even existed. So when I hit that bad ending, my knee-jerk reaction was, oh no, I need to go back and instead choose don't go help Kurumi. Right, and then I forgot to just go back to this one choice. I went back 2 choices. So which means I haven't actually exhausted all the choices yet. There's one more to do. Might as well do it, right? And you may not realize how bad I'm hoping that this will be the answer. Because I really don't want to do the tree search. I obviously will go back and try to explore at least some of the bad endings because I want to know the answer to some of these unsolved mysteries. But, if I can get, like, the good ending as soon as possible, that would be the best, right? So, let's try this choice I haven't picked. I can't go back to the past again and see what it does. And brace for disappointment. Yeah, I get it. Certainly that much is true right now. But I take the bell out of my pocket. Its cool texture seeps into my fingertips. Drop the bell on the ground. And then, with all my strength, I stomp on it. The smashed pieces of metal shine in a puddle. They're like stardust. In this very instant, I can tear off the chains of the infinite loop. And this is the end. I just kill myself! Makoto? Well, it is different. It's sure different. I can't go back again. I can't go back to the past. I will end everything here. Or you could just not go into the shrine, and instead of you and Kurumi both dying, just Kurumi dies. Except Kurumi's not in there anyway. You don't know that, of course, so but still the choice doesn't make sense. So, no, I don't want that. No more, I don't want this. I don't want to lose another precious person. A precious person. I don't want to lose you. I went as far as risking You went as far as risking your own life trying to save mine. You're wrong. That's wrong, Yuka. It's the opposite. I hesitated for a moment back then. It's because I thought of myself first. That's why I couldn't save Yuka. I killed Yuka. Please, please. I don't answer. Without a word, I rush past Yuka's shoulder and walk up to the staircase. Okay, so this is just a more sophisticated bad ending, where instead of going back into the time loop, I just kill myself for no reason. I could just not, but I still do. And then just before I can take a single step, I love you. Okay. I loved you all this time. Well, this is manipulative. It's true that I went to this shrine because I couldn't forget that boy, but I realized I was wrong. That feeling was wrong. Makoto, I love you. From the beginning, from the moment where everything began, I loved you. Well, that's not a very good character trait, but okay. The rain beats against me. The sound of rainfall drowns out all other noise. Those words comfort me. Just hearing those words alone is enough. They're enough. But unlike that boy. That boy! Yeah, I think if you were to translate this into colloquial English, better, you would just say him. You wouldn't say that boy. It's just that, like, hear this from other streamers and YouTubers. The grammar in Japanese is such that it's not like you use a pronoun there. Right? It's like you use a whatever part of speech that is. I forgot what you call it. It's like I forgot what what you call that. But yeah, it's like reads more like that boy. But when we speak English, we usually just use a pronoun. We say him. So, but unlike him, right? But unlike that boy, I'm going to say a pretentious line. Well, he would say pretentious things too, so I don't know why he's like unlike that boy. But whatever. I move my still legs again. Makoto! I begin to run up the staircase at full speed. I slip on the wet stone steps, falling to my knees, but there's no pain at all. I reach the top of the stairs and run like the wind past the shrine's grounds. Wait! I turn towards the voice. Yuka's come chasing after me. Stay away. Stay here. But Yuka ignores me and runs past me, plunging into the shrine. Yuka! I survey my surroundings, but don't see Kurumi anywhere. Where's Yuka? Right now, Yuka's trying to go through the small hole in the front wall. Hey, Yuka! Ignoring my shouts, Yuka disappears behind the hole. In the end, we arrived here again. Kurumi isn't here either. Only Yuka looks towards me with eyes that seem to be asking me something. Over the panicked Yuka's shoulder, I see segments of thick pillars breaking up into small wood chips. I'll go with you too. Huh? Yuka smashes the bell. Yuka throws the bell into the sea. Okay, this is the same thing. Backlog. I hear the sound of the shrine crumbling. I'll definitely protect you. You jump off the cliff, don't you? I don't hesitate for an instant. With all my strength, I kick off the ground and leap. You do not hesitate. That's the difference. And leap towards her. With that, I push down on the ground and jump. With that force, we flutter around up in midair. You jump off the cliff, basically. Okay, and you'll land in the water. If you want to stop time, then it's alright to destroy time. Just kill you. Okay. If you want to escape from time, it's alright to flap your wings. If you stay tied down, you can't be free. If you want to be free, then you mustn't be afraid. Yuka and I embrace each other as we fall down towards the Black Sea. Smash. I hear the faint sound of the bell Yuka threw away close to my ears. No credits, though. I wake up, I kick the covers off the bed with all my strength. Still half asleep, I blankly stare at the ceiling. Did you go forward in time? It's a familiar ceiling. I realize I'm freezing, my body is soaked with sweat all over. I take a deep breath and slowly exhale. The warm scent of wood goes through my nose and fills my head. It takes me 3 more breaths until it is different! Last 2 times it would roll credits. Huh? No way! There's no way! There's just no way! I slowly get up from the bed. I stand in the center of my room, look around. It can't be. Suddenly I hear a sound as violent as an explosion. I turn around, standing there, I see. What's going on? Yuka? Why? Calm down. I've got to calm down. First of all, what should I do? The date. We've got to confirm today's date. I timidly raise my left arm. Yuka leans in close and we both look at my watch's face. But the watch time traveled with you, though. 1. That's impossible! No. I stare at it carefully one more time. 7. Did they do the 1's really a 7 earlier in this game? I think they foreshadowed this somehow. The 1's really a... Yeah, the address. The address you're supposed to deliver the pizza to. I don't know how you could usually make a prediction based on that, but yeah, it's nice how they made it so that Kurumi mistakes a 7 for a 1, and then you mistake a 7 for a 1. 7, Sunday, 5:03 a.m. So I made it through the barrier. That's great. The number isn't a 1, it's a 7. Okay, so what this means is, my first time playing through this game, yes, I got spoiled on the first day, but beyond that, I just so happened, by basically chance, to make every single correct choice to get to this good ending, except for the very last one. And I messed up right at the end. I got, like, so minute, so close to clean sweeping the game. And at the very last choice, I blew it. Now, of course, I can reload a save file and do it right. That's like, I don't know. I guess I had to mess up somewhere so that you knew I wasn't cheating and using a walkthrough. But I was this close! The number isn't a 1, it's a 7. A 7? Yuka, we're saved? Yuka and I exchanged glances. No, hold on. It's possible that my watch could be busted. Yuka nods. In the next instant, Yuka and I, fluttered and still intertwined, quickly rush out of the living room. Yeah, because you fell down the cliff intertwined. Oni-chan? Kurumi? Hold on, what's the meaning of this? You disappeared. You just, like, vanished, and then you appeared again in Makoto's room. What? What went on here? When did you two get back? Huh? We've been looking for you. Geez, where'd you go? Where? Even if you say that. Jeez, don't worry us like that. If you went out, then you should have at least told us something. Yuka looks like she can't grasp the situation, a bewildered expression forming on her face. There's something we have to ask you. I glance over towards Yuka and nod. What's today's date? Izumi knows. Yep, Izumi's the one reacting. Hey Yuka-chan, are you really alright? You asked me that some time ago as well, didn't you? Some time ago as well? Yep, you did. That means it's Sunday, April 7th. Sunday. April 7th? So the title becomes no longer true. It's not Never7, it is 7. Okay, then we really were saved. Yuka and I instinctively embrace each other. Yuka buries her face into my chest, and I bring my lips to Yuka's soft hair. PDA! That bewitching sweet scent captivates me completely. More of the smelling stuff. We embrace each other even tighter. It takes me a moment to realize that everyone is blatantly staring at us. Yes. Yuka and I rapidly break off like nothing happened. Yuka's cheeks are bright red. I see, so that's what it was. Yep, Izumi knows. So the two of you eloped for a night in 2 days? What, is that true, Oni-chan? Wait, before that, where'd you go in the first place? Where? Yesterday morning. Oh, that. Kurumi was looking for that puppy. It was out in that downpour, so she felt sorry that it had to be outside. I can't even let out a sigh. all of a sudden. Makoto? Yuka speaks up. If we don't hurry and go, we won't make it. To the announcement? Won't make it. Won't make what? The instant I ask that, Yuka wordlessly grabs my arm and rushes out the front door as fast as a hurricane. Oh, they have to watch the sunrise. Okay. Yuka and I made a promise. We'll see the sunrise on the 7th together. Today's the 7th. It's the start of the morning. The morning sun is now beginning to slowly rise from beyond the golden ocean. We'll free you from time. That's surely meant to be released from the infinite loop's flow of time. At the end of the cave. That was probably indicating the real end of the cave. In other words, in the ocean. Right now, we've been released. Yuka? With this, everything's over, huh? You're wrong, nothing's over. It of course doesn't make any sense why Yuka telling Makoto I love you means that Makoto's not going to hesitate, he's just going to throw himself off the cliff. But whatever. Everything begins from now on. Besides, it's like four more games, okay? Like, this is just the first one. Makoto? From now on, will you always stay by my side? Okay, he's going to do cheesy dialogue. Yes. From now on and always for eternity. We'll be together. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we see, now we actually see the main character's kind of face. His hair is green, not purple. That's fascinating. If a complete stranger saw us right now, they wouldn't think by any means that we had only just met 8 days ago. Then again, isn't that obvious? After all, Yuka and I have spent hundreds of millions of years together. Oh, I don't know how much they know. And of course, the bell is still in the sea. This story is an end, is this. But only as for you. May still be now in the infinite loop. Oh, okay, well, whatever. So now we have a different kind of credits where they actually show the sprites. Okay, so that's the Yuka ending, and apparently there's many more endings you can fill. Okay. What's this? Endings. 2 out of 19. Okay. Scenes. 69 out of 209. Oh dear, this is huge. CGs. 43 out of 78. That's interesting. Music 25. Okay, movies 5 out of 15. But I didn't see any movies though. That's odd. Tips 48. What's that mean? Okay. So you get this character profile on Yuka. 5'3", because she's Japanese. 20. Of course they do this. Okay. Akemi Jr., who goes to the same college as Makoto, she serves as the group leader in the current seminar lodge. Given that her cheerful and optimistic attitude makes her an ideal choice, despite her friendly and outgoing personality, her tendency to wander around drunk has tainted her reputation, along with her disastrous cooking. So she's quite easy to get along with thanks to her kindness and good social skills. Okay. In middle school, she met her first love, a male classmate whom she had never confessed her feelings for. Even 5 years after his death, she still mourns his death and can't break free of those bitter memories she had for him. She tries her best to hide these emotions from others, but after meeting Makoto at the camp and discovering how his speech and conduct resembles the boys, her feelings become conflicted. Okay. You. An innocent little girl who came to the island with her family to sightsee. This is the girl with the bell. By chance, she picked up the bell that Yuka threw away, but gave it back to Yuka in exchange for the Fat Cat mascot character keychain. It seems that she'll treasure the keychain for a long time. You was the name of the main heroine from the kid visual novel Memories Off, which Uchikoshi also wrote, but I didn't decide to try to play it because it wasn't supposed to be like a mystery suspense game. It was supposed to be just like a high school slice of life. But Yumeno, former classmate and friend of Izumi's, whom she nicknamed Yume-chan, having been born without the clone control law, was still in effect. Having been born while the clone control law was still in effect, she had to conceal the fact that she was a clone for years. Clones are, to be blunt, a genetic copy of someone else. Despite that, many in the clone community accept the reality of being a clone as part of their identity. It's predicted that as cloning gains acceptance, clones will reach new areas of social standing and bring diversity to society, for better or for worse. Yes, copying people brings diversity. Okay, whatever you say, game. Okay. So, you can pause to read this. Pause to read that as well. Hot Spring. Which we never went to, actually. Here, which is where we went fishing. Okay, you can pause to read that. Pause to read this. Pause to read this. Okay, you can pause to read this. So, first line, last line. Okay. Cherry blossom trees. Wait, there's a corpse sitting under? Okay. I wish to die under the flowers in the spring, around the day of full moon in February. The theory states that Psycho's opinion on death had meet permeated through this poem. Saigo Hoshi was likely another individual enchanted by the beauty of the cherry blossoms. Healthy Utopia. That's the cooking show. The serve. Okay. Only means brother, right? Oh, okay. Okay. Kind of situation. Okay. Recipe consists of eggs, tomatoes, corned beef, fermented soybeans, enoki mushrooms, mayonnaise, chocolate ice cream, and muscat jelly. Oops. All put into a mixer, with the result being grilled on a frying pan. Needless to say, the final product is beyond the imagination. It is when placed on completely burnt toast, which itself is already a rarely seen gem. A human must either have no sense of taste or an extremely strong mind to even consider biting it, let alone finish it. Uh. Okay. Pause to read that. If you want to read that, you can pause this. Okay, I have to scroll. Okay. I read all this. Man, that's a lot to read. Okay, whatever. 6 cents. Whatever. April Fool's Day. Toro. The inside of a tuna, especially the excessive fat of the tuna's stomach meat. The root of the name is said to come from the thickness of its texture. Oh, so they're basically giving us spoilers. Okay. Wait, so this takes place in... Oh, they're saying the clone trial took place in 2010. That would mean... That would mean that Haruka was cloned before the clone trial. Anyway. Okay. She wanted to cook them, though. Okay, I don't need to read about... I know all about the theory of relativity. I know better about this than whoever wrote this game. Okay. Real premonitions. Oh goodness. Okay. El Nino. Okay, yes. So is this all just written by, like... Just kind of added this? This is not in the original? I presume. Yeah, okay. This is just like the fans adding things to it. Okay. Probably. Opening original, opening PSP, bad end. Okay. Yuku's good end, PSP. Okay, got that. The Yuka loop. Okay, so those are the ones. Okay, so yep, we're missing some. Cool. What are CGs? Oh, these are the art assets. What's this supposed to be? Okay. I don't know how you don't get that one. Oh, we're missing one of those. That's it. Two of those. That's interesting. Okay, is this a fan fiction? Okay, what's... Title, okay. Shortcut, I don't want to actually do that, because that sounds like a... Okay. If I click New Game, and I do a save of it... Okay, it doesn't cause any problems. Okay. So... I guess that's the end of this recording. We got the Yuka ending, so I guess she's, wow, get out of here. Yuka's highlighted, but we still have Kurumi and Izumi and Haruka, and I believe this is, what's her face? Saki. So, go and break free from time, whatever that means.